Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Down and Dirty with the Badger State Tractor Pullers. We got the wonderful Stacy Buxton, the very wonderful Greg Elsing, and Jeff Parr. How you doing, Jeff?
Oh, pretty good.
Everything looking good up in Viroqua?
Yeah, we're up at the fairgrounds here tonight.
Getting the track ready for Friday night. What time do things start Friday night?
7, I think it is. So
7 o'clock. What classes do we have up there? I don't even know. You have to let me know.
hot farms, super farms, 4-1s, and diesel trucks. Same as what we've had every year. So
yeah. Usually a pretty good show up there. A pretty good crowd. You got football games that night. That's a little hard on the night, right?
Yeah, it's hard being up against the football games, but I guess we're getting a good enough crowd. The fair board likes you and wants to keep getting you back, so they're happy with the results. So that's right. What's important.
Yep. But good night up there. The guys like the track. It's always a good track, and we have a busy day the next day. But they always seem to show up and have a lot of numbers. You get some guys from Minnesota there too once in a while, right?
Yeah, their season's over now, so some of those guys will slip over. I think there's a few coming down again this year, so I think pretty sure Lenahan's old 4-1 tractor is supposed to be here. So,
yep, I did get a couple questions from a couple guys about you have to have that cross in the exhaust part, but the turbo plus bolts, and I said if they come down, they have to have the bolts in there yet within 2 inches of the exhaust. Plus that star, that you put in the exhaust, and we did a couple shows on that, the safety stuff. You still have to have both things in there if anybody's watching or thinking about coming. So hopefully they're going to put them in and come down, because I don't think NTPA does not make the guys do that. But we do. Lucas Oil makes the guys put both of them in with our insurance and whatever they're saying. Yep. Who's announcing up there, boys?
Christopher Clark.
I think he's been doing it the last couple of years, right?
Yeah, it's in his backyard. He can literally
this
ride
is his home county.
Yeah, he can literally ride a bicycle over there.
Yeah.
Right? Home county? Where's he live? I don't even know. We should have him on some night.
Over towards Hillsboro, I think. So
yeah. Hillsboro? Okay. He bought a house at one time.
Yeah,
well, he used to work at Bear Valley Performance. Is he back there again, or where's he at?
Seed corn. Doing seed corn stuff, I think.
Okay, that's right.
He's kind of transient.
Yeah.
He can do anything.
Yep. So, Jeff, what do you guys got for the fair up there, and what else do you do during the fair up there for polls? Do you just do farm polls, or is Badger State the only night you do, or do you have a farm poll?
Thursday night we have a farm poll, a couple antique classes, some improved antique, some open farm and heavy farm, and a heavy local farm, and one class of work stock diesel trucks, outlaw class where if you weigh, you pull. So we try to hit everybody, make sure everybody in the county has either between Thursday night or Friday night they can pull. So that's our goal. So
that's pretty important to get the local guys and their families to show up and have some fun, right?
Yeah, that's what the fair is about. So we always try to. That's always been our goal. If you have something you pull and you live in Vernon County or close, that we have a class for you. That's like you said. If the local people aren't involved, it's pretty hard to get the support. So
yeah. Well, explain what heavy farm is.
Oh, the heavy farm up here is like your 1066s and stuff, or the real heavy local farm is anything front wheel assist, 4-wheel drive, whatever, the big farm tractors. The people that originally built this track used to run some big cases, and back when they built that track, they always brought those up. So we kind of try to keep that tradition of, any farmer or the big old heavy farm tractor, if you want to pull it, you can pull it, because that's why we have this track, was because the support of those farmers with those old tractors back in the day. So
what's the heaviest tractor you get in that?
Oh, I don't know. 8,400 Deeres and bigger Magnums. Back in the day, it was the old crab steer cases. Back in the day, were probably the biggest, heaviest wise. So
yeah. What is it? What do you got for prize money up there? Because I know They used to do that in Richland Center, and they'd give like the use of a chopper box away for the year if you won that class or something, or a collector or something like that for corn silage or haylage and stuff.
The heavy farm class up here is pretty much basically bragging rights, and the fair board's getting, or they're a lot more generous with the donation money on the pole now. They're getting some pretty good outside sponsors, so we kind of see how big the classes are, and maybe first place won't be a whole lot of money, but we try to pay back farther. If we get a class of 20, we try to pay back farther. So we set the payout on Thursday night according to the class size. So
okay, well, that's fun to do. Figure that out, right?
Yeah. So that, you know how it is. So
yeah. Do they take that right to the beer tent then and spend it? You just give coupons for the beer tent or what?
Well, Vernon County's still a dry fair, so there's no beer tent here. So they're working on that, but I don't know. It's been something in the bylaws years and years ago. There's supposed to be no alcohol served here at the fair, and I think this year they're finally going to have beer at the meat animal sale dinner, but that's the first time in 100 and some years of the fair. So
right.
Some of those old traditions they're pretty hard to break. So
right. Well, Vernon County's got one of the oldest fairs in the state, right?
Yeah, I know. I can't tell you this exact how many years, but it's one of the older ones, and it's the last state, county fair in the state. So.
Yep. Into September. There's not many county fairs in September.
No. So they're pretty much winding down. There's a few local events up here in the area after this weekend. Horse and Colt show in Viola and the Retreats World Fair, and it's pretty much winding down. This is the wind down here the next 3 weeks. So
right.
Yeah.
What day does your fair get going, Jeff?
it starts on Wednesday. Wednesday is a free gate. That's the day all the exhibits come, and then they get a pretty good crowd on Wednesday night. The families with the bigger kids and more kids and stuff. Wednesday night's pretty busy. And then you can buy a season ticket. I think it's $30, gets you in the gate and into the Badger State Pole and the Demo Derby. They're only two grandstand events they charge for. So they got a exclusive pass to get in, if you want to go to all that. So, but I think don't quote me on this, but I think once there's a gate charge, and then I think it's $10 to get into the Badger State Pole after that. So.
All right.
That's a pretty good deal to be had then.
Yeah. It's they keep it pretty reasonable. And the Vernon County Fair, it's not owned by the county; it's the Ag Society, so it's private or whatever. So there's no, they don't get a lot of outside funding. That's a few years ago during COVID. We had a pull here when all the fairs were shut down, but that's why we were able to have it because it's the Ag Society owns it, not a government body. So it has its advantages.
Yep, that's how Sauk County is too. My county is too. It's an Ag Society, does the same thing. And they did get during COVID there. They got a pretty good grant to help their fairgrounds out, though. I imagine all fairs that applied for that did. Yep. Looks like we lost Jeff, huh?
We lost him.
They got for
He's back.
Yeah, I don't know what they got for funding here during COVID, but they're always doing fundraisers. I think they're building a new fair office right now, and the old shower restroom building was getting pretty bad shape, and they've tore that down now, and I know they're trying to come up with plans on building something new there. So like I say, it's a pretty old fairgrounds, but they're trying to do a lot of updating, but there's a lot of miles of wiring and older buildings, so that they can't do it all at once, but they do a pretty good job. So
Do they have any other events at the fairgrounds during the year? Like any other shows or, livestock shows or any other?
Yeah, they have a couple different state. I think they have like the state Jersey show and Brown Swiss show. And there's quite a bit going on here. There used to be a summertime pull, but we can't. There's less people to volunteer and less groups that want to stick their neck outs anymore on the insurance and stuff. So it's kind of hard to get a group to sponsor a poll anymore, and it's pretty hard as an individual to put one on with the liability anymore. So
Correct. Correct.
The hard part.
Yep. So when you do that, I mean, it's hard to have a pull unless you have a group like say Badger State or anybody else that comes in with their own insurances. That's why it costs more to hire. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, even like if we did it ourselves, which we did 2 of them, you got to get your liability insurance and then you have to get you can serve beer here like on events like that. You got to go through and get a beer license and everything. Then that ups the insurance. And then to get, gate help rounded up, we always got the Lions Club, but those guys are getting older every year too. So it's harder to get them. And we always gave them a pretty good donation, but I think the average age up here at the Lions Club is probably about 75. So.
Right. We got to become a Lion yourself then.
Yeah.
Volunteer for one more thing, right?
Yeah. So you go to Lions, got a good burger stand up here, but some of the guys flipping burgers were there back when we were kids showing cattle up here. So they've been there a long time. So.
Right.
Jeff? Whose sled are you having up there for the fair?
We're having Johnny Peterson's. This is actually Johnny's pretty much hometown here. So he's done the fair for years. So he'll be doing the heavier farm tractors on Thursday night. And then the track patrol sled comes down for the antiques. And then he'll be doing the Badger State pull on Friday night.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
If I remember right, last year he broke I think it was Brent Leonard in the limited pro class, like the 3rd tractor in, he broke in his rear end or transmission or something, right?
I broke both chains and a bunch of other stuff. It was kind of a bad night. So the 4-1s have had kind of bad luck up here. So hopefully we'll talk about that Friday night. Hopefully we can get them hooked early so they can actually hook here this year. So.
Right.
Run them up.
You're building too good of a track. You got to soften your track up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, last year, so dry, we only had about 3 inches of rain here in the area all last year. And we put quite a bit of water on it last year. This year we've cut it back. We've actually had some rain. It's dry now, but this track up here, if you can get the water down and it comes back up, it's always been a good power track. So.
Yep. It's been a good, I've been up there watching, I mean, how many years in a row since we've been there? I've gone every year, but I don't know if I'm going to make it this Friday night because the boys' tractor isn't running. I'm hoping Adam can handle it. Adam Adrian is probably going to be in charge up there. I got to find out for sure, but
yeah,
if not, I'll be up there. But I know it's been a good track, and it's guys look forward to it. It don't matter what you pay or where you go, but the guys want to go to where there's a good track.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's. Our tractor's been sitting for a few years, but you like going to the places where you got a good power track and a good crowd.
What happens if you
I've been to the Vernon County Fair myself ever. Is your fairgrounds kind of located in some bottomland like a lot of places are over that way, or you guys got a pretty good spot?
No, we're in a good spot here. We're right, not in the center of town. We're kind of towards the northern edge of it. It's a pretty good spot. I think the 1st or 2nd year Badger State was here, we had a pretty good rain, and we have the harness racing track here, and for years that was sacred ground and you couldn't park on it or you couldn't hardly go across it. Well, that year we were able to park the haulers on the horse track, and we had the pull, so we can handle quite a bit of water.
Okay.
So we don't have no creeks or rivers running right next door. So.
Well, you're up, and it's up on a hill there too. You're not in the valley.
No, we're on the ridge. Viroqua was up on the ridge.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Viroqua was up on high ground, so you're good there, right?
Yeah. Yep, we don't have to worry if it floods up here. We got problems. So.
Yep. Well, God's right there for you because you're right in the clouds by him. He'll watch out for you.
So,
yep,
but no, the fairgrounds is really easy to get to. We're right on Highway 14. So, I mean, you don't have to get off no side roads or city streets to get in. If you're coming from the south, you just go past the main gate, and the north gate is marked real good. It's right across from the Culver's and Gasser's bars, right where you turn in the Kroll cement plant. So it's really easy in and out. And I guess I've been told that Ed and Ted will be here helping people park. They've been here for years, so you guys all can look forward to that. Those guys will be helping you get parked. So.
Yep. Ted and Ed.
Yep.
Yep. The Reedsburg Brews, I call them.
There you go.
Yep.
You
They're
need
good
like
guys. They
that
help
to
out a
help.
lot
It takes a lot of people to put poles on, and it's harder and harder to get help like that. So
Those
good
guys
guys.
polls too. They go to a lot of polls.
Yeah.
Wherever there's a poll on a weekend, they're going. Wherever
Yeah.
it is.
And if you can find someone that likes to stand at the scale, that's the hardest thing we've got. Oh, we don't want to stand back at the scale at Thursday night. It's kind of a thankless job. You don't get to see the poll, so you know it is.
Yep.
So it's hard to get that kind of help. So
It is. We're lucky to have Mark Eastman do it for us. I mean, he's been doing a great job for years, and he doesn't. He doesn't mind it. He likes to talk to all the guys back there when they're going across the scales. I wouldn't say it's a thankless job, but you get to meet the most people. He gets to talk to more pullers than the guys on the track do. That's for sure.
yeah. Well, that's the main thing about pulling. I think anybody will tell you that the pulling's fun, but it's more of the people you get to meet and talk to every week, and the relationships you get, and I think that's the best part about pulling. You just meet a lot of really good people, and most of them are all pretty friendly and do anything they will to help you out. So
correct. But Ted and Ed help out at a lot of events. They do. They're in Baraboo and Sauk, and I can't name all the places out there, but they're at a lot. They're in Hillsboro. They help out there, so they're around at a lot of them. Yep.
That one year during COVID, there wasn't too many pulls that year, but there was one out in Minnesota, and Ed and Ted called me and, can we ride with? I said, well, I don't have room, but you can ride in the trailer. We got living quarters in it. So we went about 3 hours out in Minnesota. So they rode in the trailer out and the trailer back from Viroqua. So they're pretty dedicated.
Yep. Probably good riding in there. Could take a nap the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know. We couldn't tell. They got out anyway when we got back. So
yeah, they made it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Family and friends. Meet a lot of great family and extended family and friends and pulling and across wherever you go. It doesn't matter what organization, but all kind of.
Yeah, we were pulling in Platteville on Dairy Days last Friday night, and Ed and Ted, they were down there. We seen them down there.
Oh, they're everywhere. I mean, it doesn't matter what's you can be in 3 different states and they show up. So
yeah, right.
Yep, they're good guys.
Oh yeah.
So
great guys.
How'd your pulling in Dairy Days go there for you, Stacy?
Oh, went pretty good. They had a shot of rain come through. About less than an hour before pull time, and it really turned the track into quite the track. And it was a good show. We had a lot of iron show up. We had a lot of iron in every class. We had Jasper boys from Missouri come up and pull with us over the weekend. We go down there all summer long and pull with them. So their season's over down there. So they decided, hey, we go to Wisconsin and pull one weekend, and they had a good time. They like pulling on some good tracks for once.
Yeah. Don't get away from that red clay from down there in Missouri, huh?
Yeah, that stuff they got down there, it can be a good track, but they've got a tendency to overpack it and just turn it into concrete. You get some of them guys in some of them fairs, their job is to run that packer, and they're going to run that packer no matter what.
Yeah, no, we went down there one time and pulled out in the pasture, and it was red clay, as red as can be.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, we still have a challenge from the Missouri guys for our children's hospital deal, for last year, right?
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So we won't know the tally of that till after the banquet. But.
Right. We should get them guys on here and talk about that and see how they've done. So they have I think they do some at their banquet too, don't they?
I think so. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
We talked about after the banquet once it's all done and tallied up. And so percentage, what group had the most percentage grow, I guess.
Right.
And it's a nice one. It's got a cab on it. It real fucking works.
But yeah, great bunch of guys. And Jasper's good guys. I'm sure they like Platteville's a good track, and then Darien Cornfest. That's a black dirt track. And if you walk down and looked at it for the first time, you guys would be like, geez, you're not even hook up here. I don't even know what we're gonna do. As soon as you tighten the chain and wind her up, that black dirt will suck the life right out of the tires and right out of the motor. You better pick the right gear if you're going to pull there.
Yeah. Have you ever gone down to Platteville and pulled, Jeff?
Yeah, we've been down there in the years past. They got a really good pull there. That Dairy Days puller there. So I think some of the local guys were down there this past weekend, I heard. So, but they get a heck of a crowd down there and a lot of good iron.
Who are all the local guys you got?
Some of the locals here might came back in that one class with some of that apple pie, I heard. So,
right. Who do you have for local pullers that'll be pulling with us Friday night there?
Eric Vestbach here at Viroqua in the hot farm class. I guess he'll be the closest.
Yeah.
Fritz's will be up from Boscobel.
Yeah, their season's done with PPL.
Yeah.
And you said, where did Mike and Ann Linehan's tractor go?
Bill Deluge bought it up in Minnesota. He's actually the one that helped Mike build it. Bill's the president of United Pullers over there in Minnesota. He's up by up above the cities is where he's at. Buffalo, Minnesota is where he's located. He runs a shop up there and dynos, and so that's where it ended up.
Okay. And you thought he might be down here Friday night?
Yeah, and sent us a message. I think he actually won up at Ridgeland last weekend or whenever Ridgeland was. And he told Ann he was going to be down, and we'd talked to Ann and said he was coming down. So I think those guys might be planning on hitting Viroqua and Monroe now that they're back to back. So
yeah,
cool, good.
I think when Ann sold that, I think there was something in the contract that had to come down to Viroqua to pull. So
right,
you can thank her for getting some of those guys down.
Yeah. Oh, I miss Mike and Ann pulling with us. I do. You know, they were always fun and good tractor, always a competitive tractor.
Yeah. Actually, we picked up Ann and went over to Bear Booth there this spring for their pull, and both of us said, "Well, are we meeting at the house or meeting at the shop?" You know, it's just kind of one of those things. Where are we going to meet to pick the tractor up and go? You know, but there's no tractor anymore. But that day, I guess we thought there was. So.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yep. That is too
good
bad.
memory.
Yep. I know my boys sure like talking to Mike all the time and Ann and talking to him and visiting with him and they always, you know, it was always fun to see that.
Yeah.
Young guys, you know, the older guys talking, you know, that's something I enjoy watching what's happening in pulling.
Whenever we took him to a pull, Mike was always there, and he goes, I don't care who we beat, but we're gonna beat that one. And he always would point at your boys as tractors.
Yeah. Yep. They're working on theirs right now. Robbie got them a block, and they're putting stuff together. And Craig is going to do some sheet metal fix. We haven't painted that tractor in 25 years, and they fixed the hood up, painted it all up, did a bunch of work to it this spring. And then what happened to it? They got to start all over again. It's actually worse than when they started.
I guess that's pulling. Yeah, I seen the video of it. It looked like that was kind of a bad deal. Something you never want to happen, but we all know it's a possibility. So.
Right. It happens, but hopefully with a new block that will not happen.
So no, it's good you can get parts. So some of those parts are pretty hard to get right now.
Yeah. I've got 2 tractors parked right now, farm tractors that I can't get the parts I need for.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. One's just an air conditioning line. I went to what's it called? Transport Refrigeration in Madison. They made me one of them, but they couldn't make the other one. So I can, you know, the guys won't drive, but there's no radio or air conditioning. You gotta have that.
Yeah, especially when you're chopping corn silage on these hot days. That air conditioning seems to be pretty important. So.
Yep. When you can't let them drive with the windows open because this trashes the tractor.
Yeah.
They never work after that. Yep. Yeah. Well, Jeff, I think we can let you get back to building a track, make a good track, so the guys all have to find their lowest gears, right? That's the funnest thing to do, right?
That's the plan up here. And like I said, I hope I hope we can. I think it'll be a good track. There, that Lufenburls came up that one year, and Mike. I think Mike won it 2 years in a row, and that one year he's the first hook and the last hook, and he won it with both hooks. So I mean that. I think that says a lot for our track. That if you know how it is. Sometimes it's the first 5 guys or the last 5 guys, but we try to keep it consistent so anybody, any part of the group can win. And when you get 15 tractors, that can be pretty hard sometimes. So in a class, so.
Yep. Do you have any people you want to thank or sponsors you want to thank that help you with the poll?
Well, I haven't talked to any of the fair board members to get an official list of all the sponsors, but the big ones to thank the fair board, because we all know at all these fairs there's some other event that wants to take your spot, and they've been real happy with the Badger State. Years ago when we first got you up there, it was kind of a trial thing, and now it's not a trial. It's we don't have to, they want you, so that's really good. So we really got to thank the fair board, and this year we got John Ennis here, local guy. He helps with the track, and Chris Lear and Todd Vestbach and myself. Jeff Fortney used to always, this was his baby, but he passed away a year ago. So we're trying to fill his shoes. He'd put on 100 miles during the fair, walking up and down the track. And so we're just trying to fill his shoes and keep it here. That we always joked that when he died, we'd have to throw some of this dirt in his grave. But it's the fair and community track. We always called it Jeff's track because that's the way he looked at it. It was his pride and joy. So we're just trying to keep that up. So.
Right.
Good for you.
Right. And it changes every year how you built it from years ago. Back then you just wanted a hard track to get into, but now you want a track that's takes power. Remember back in the days, with the big lug tires, you wanted something that was going to stand up a hard track. But
yeah,
over
we're
the
trying
last
to do
25
different things here, and we need some clay. And there actually is a lot of construction going on in Viroqua. It's been quite a few years since we added any clay, and I think we finally found some clay right across the street back here. They're building a new armory, and so hopefully next week after the fair we can get some of that over here, and so it settles over the winter. We've got it okayed with the fair board that if we could find the clay that it wasn't to go on the year of the poll, and they'd let us pile it up. I think we actually found some, so we're going to be able to get it on this fall, because that stuff seems like it disappears over the years. So.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And then to keep the same quality of clay, here in Viroqua, it's either sand or clay, and where this construction site is, it must be in this same vein as clay as what the original clay was. So we're hoping we can get it here next week. So.
Right. It's always nice to build the track in the fall and you let it go through the winter and settle in and all that. Like I just graded our track out Friday. I built it just so it's ready to pull on.
Yeah.
So there's no water holes in the spring, because that makes a big difference.
Yeah, that's what we need to thank the Viroqua Township here. They come over with the grader and they'll come over after the fair and get it graded back and get it crowned so the water's running off. So.
Yep. You got to build it back so there's no water holes in it, and it works a lot better the next spring when you want to build it. If it's already done, you're good to go.
And every year you're scraping it. We got more equipment on the track and more poles, and we try to get that dirt pulled back. But you know how it is. It keeps getting strung out farther every year. So.
Yep. And every time the sled goes down the track, it takes a quarter yard of dirt with it.
Yeah.
Puts
That's
it at
one
the
thing
wrong
about
end.
Johnny Peterson's sled. It's a good sled, but Johnny and I were talking. It's probably one of the harder sleds to keep a good track, because he moves a lot of dirt with those gougers. So. You got to keep pulling that dirt back down the track or pushing it down. We're going to have 2 skid steers with rakes and a couple scrapers and a couple packers, and we got a box scraper. So that's what we've been doing for years. So.
Yep. Well, we're seeing a lot, though, as the guys with the rakes on the skid steers, more of them seem to be helping now. They scuff the track and keep it from getting hard, and they do a better job of leveling it out and putting the dirt where you want. But you got to have good operators. You have to have more help for that.
Yeah. And the skid steers, that you need, they work good, but you got to make sure there's no one walking behind them. You know how it is. It's all fast paced and everybody's go. And
Yep.
So there's more stuff going. The more, we don't need any more accidents in this sport. That's for sure. So
No, we don't.
Nope.
No, we don't. Well, Jeff, thanks for coming on. We'll let you go and let you get back to building the track. I see Mark's on here. We can start talking about Monroe and moving on with that. So thanks.
all right.
Thanks,
Well,
Jeff.
thanks for having us, and look forward to seeing you all on Friday night.
Yeah, we'll
Thanks,
see you
Jeff.
Friday night.
All right.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yep.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Mark Hawthorne, the assistant CEO for the Greene County Fall Nationals. As we all know, Heidi is the CEO.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we can go with that.
How are things looking in Monroe?
Well, I think it's coming along. Keep that damn hurricane down south and keep it from coming up toward here would be fine.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any rain in the forecast, is there?
I kind of thought maybe curling back up in Illinois, but most guys are saying it's supposed to fizzle out and everything before, so we should.
Yeah.
The long range forecast I seen said Saturday's going to be a beautiful day.
Okay, well, I like your forecast. We'll go with that one.
All right.
Right. That's the one you're going to pick.
That's the one we're gonna go with, right? Yeah. Mhm.
Right.
The only thing I see was the tail end of that coming in like Saturday night, Sunday morning, like late. So it'll be.
Oh, that's
way
fine.
after-
We can live with that.
I don't mind rain on Sunday morning. That means we get off. We'll have to chop corn or something.
That's a good day to have off.
It is. I just, the older you get, I hate working on Sundays. I do. I want to be on Sundays to sit on the deck or on the boat and have a cocktail is what I want to do.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. I don't know about you guys, but my kids don't seem to mind it until it's like the fourth or fifth Sunday in a row they're working, and then they want one off.
They're younger though.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. They're out chopping right now.
So
So
you're
they
ready
want to get it
for-
done. So they don't have to do it on the weekends. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't blame them.
Yep.
All the raffle tickets sold then for the Greene County Fall Nationals.
There's a few places that are running out, so I think we're starting to get a little bit low. Most guys they wait till the last minute. They want to make sure that the weather's going to be right and everything. But no, they're going well. Tracks get a bunch of water on that. Of course, it's been dry, so Dad's been working on that for about the last 10 days.
Did you get a hold of Clint to get his magic juice, or what'd you do?
Well, when you text me, I'm like, what am I supposed to call Clint for? I was going to call Clint and go, hey, I'm supposed to call you for some reason, but I didn't want to sound stupid. And I didn't have time to call you back to see. So I just.
Well, I meant to send it to your dad, and I clicked on. I said, "Oh, geez, I sent it to Mark because your dad called me."
No wonder I was lost.
Yep, Larry called me, and I said, "Ah, shit, wrong Hawthorne." And I did send it to your dad. Then I should have sent you a text saying, sorry about that. I meant to send it to your dad."
Oh, I just left it alone. At least I was smart enough to know that. But hey, yeah.
Well, he was going to talk to Tim Vorwald because I said he had something in Monticello that worked really well. And I've noticed when they're using this, the dirt falls back in the holes a lot nicer. It just goes. The track seems to go together a lot better. I don't know what it is, what it does, but it just seems to lay back a lot nicer.
VP makes a product called Stay Wet, and it's for that, but it's like it's I don't know, it's pretty expensive for a 5-gallon pail of it. Then I understand guys are using Pine Sol also.
Yep, that's what they use in Monticello.
That seems to be a very economical, good alternative for putting the track back together. The boys down at Milledgeville used a whole bunch of Pine Sol down there, and that track went together pretty good.
Right, and when we got to Monticello and the water truck went by and they're spraying it on, I said, "Man, that smells good. What is that? That's not a manure tanker. That was Pine Sol."
Yeah.
Well, everybody's looking to improve tracks every year, and that's what you got to do. Is we got to do.
Yep. Well, every year the track gets better. The horsepower in the tractors get better. The sleds, they should be getting better. They usually do. You just have to. I just look at some of the classes that in the last 10 years have doubled in horsepower.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know,
harder to keep things together and make it consistent for everybody.
right? And it's hard to, if your tractor doubles in horsepower, the sled has to double in its capacity to stop you.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to change a little bit too as we're going along. I believe,
Right.
or change stuff up, and yeah.
Well, I think last year it helped of how to get, how it helped of how they changed it with the help of everybody of, get the moisture in and get it packed deep, stop, few inches to dig up. I think that really helped last year because we didn't see as much separation between distances. People are still mixing it up in the middle of class. So,
Yep.
that it's improving, let's put it that way. But,
Yep. If the first puller gets second and the last puller gets first, the track stayed good.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Tim
So last year,
says
Here's what Clint Tucker recommends.
Pine Sol.
okay.
Yep.
Stay wet.
That's who Clint Tucker swears by.
Huh.
Stay wet.
That too up to Hillsboro, and then Stay Wet by VP comes in a 5-gallon pail, and Slama uses it up to Hillsboro, I know, and then Tim Vorwald said preference, whatever preference is in Pine Sol, and I've heard a couple of using Pine Sol at poles.
What do you do is spray that on before you start doing track prep?
You put it in the water when you're watering it, when you're building the track.
During the pull.
Yeah. Then
even before.
Before. Then they also put a spray bar in the spray bar in the grader, or whatever's on the grader in the back of the tractor. So
Well, that's something we look into because we're going to have an 80-degree day, and that might be something. Nice thing is we got a sponsor, Spike Oil and Broadhead, that supplies a lot of BP fuel, so they should be able to get their hands on that too.
Oh, very good, very good.
Yeah, you only got a few days to do that. You better get a hold of him if you're going to do that.
Well, Vorwald, I'll be calling you when we hang up here to see what the mixture is.
Yep. Yeah, but Pine Sol works too, and it's a lot cheaper. Like I really think one of the best tracks we've been on all year is out of Monticello, Iowa. I really do. That was a good track, good power track. It stayed consistent, the whole night. So, and it went back together nice.
Well, Walmart will probably wonder why we cleaned them out of Lysol or Pine Sol, but hey, do what we got to do.
Right. I don't know how much you have to put on. You'd have to get a hold of Tim. I gave Tim your dad, Tim's number to your dad.
All right, you got that then. Okay, he can contact him. I usually try to stay out of the track department, but
yeah.
Enough other stuff going on.
What time do the gates open Saturday morning, Mark?
Gates are going to open at 8. All gates will open at 8. So we're going to get this thing like 10:45 we'll do the colors and everything at noon. There needs to be something hooked to the sled and rolling because with Viroqua I didn't expect it last year either, but to see 23-4-1 show up, I'm like, oh, well, you got a 2-day pull. Never thought about everybody else coming up, to hit 2-day pulls. And
sure.
So last year we had it damn near like a full class. Yeah. So it is going to be important. This year's going to be telltale. I'm just telling everybody. I've told everybody this before. Nobody wants to not come, but we can't. We just can't get done at 7:30 later. It's just too long of a day. And if we can get done at 7, we'll leave everything alone. If it's 8. We got to get rid of a class next year, so I don't put everybody's name in his pot and pick one, but I don't know what else to do. But we got to shorten the show up a little bit. So things have got to click. Everybody's got to be ready and
like Heidi said, 11:45. You mean?
Then I say
correcting you.
Yeah, you moved it up an hour on us already.
See, I'm trying to get done earlier. That right?
I know. I see what you're doing. Yeah.
Well, she corrects all my posts, and she does a lot of correcting for me. But I got to have somebody looking out after me.
Yeah. Whose sleds are we going to have there, Mark?
Johnny Peterson's and the Iron Anchor.
Okay.
So that'll be in every other one. So the other sled will be.
Are either one of them sleds earmarked for any classes in particular, or just random draw?
Well, I'll just read down because I talked to Greg and come up with a plan of the running order, and we just went with it. First class will be 540 light pro on the Iron Anchor. 4 1s will be on Peterson. They'll be second. Pro stock diesel trucks will be on the Iron Anchor. They'll be third. Fourth will be the pro stocks. They'll be on Peterson's. Light limit super stocks will be on Iron Anchor. 466 will be on Peterson. Super farms on the Iron Anchor, and two-wheel drive truck will be on Peterson.
Okay, very good.
So
Looks good. So,
Very good.
Mark, you talked about an early ticket, buying a ticket to get in early. What all does that get you? Do you want to explain to everybody?
So the advanced tickets are $20. $20 that gets you into the pull and the drawing. In the drawing, I think there's 45 prizes this year. There's $3,800 in cash. There's just stuff from all over the area for prizes and stuff. Still $20 at the gate. So if you buy the ticket, the drawing's free. So if you come in and win $1,000 grand prize and you bought a ticket and you're there, it's a freebie. The band is free. So there is no gate, there is no nothing. Come in, walk in, have fun. So that was included in the ticket before, but we changed that last year. So our sponsors have taken care of that and said, let's have a good time. So
Okay.
Advanced tickets will go through Thursday night. They'll start being collected probably like Thursday afternoon, early Friday morning. So
Okay. What band do you have there?
Blue Steel, same as last year. They were a hit, but with the rain, I think we kind of lost part of the crowd. But they're playing all over now. They got a really big name. They play everything. So they're just not a country or rock or whatever, but they really got a good variety of music.
Good following.
They do, yeah. They got a really good following. Hell, they play at a winery down in Browntown, and the first time they played, there was 400 people. So we'll see.
Yep.
If it's not going to rain, the band will be outside this year. It gets so loud in that building. So we're really hoping that the weather cooperates where we can do that.
They also
So, yeah.
played the fair this year.
What's that?
That band also played at the Carroll County Fair.
Oh, they did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Amanda Stern, big Badger State Tractor Pull fan. She says they were wonderful at the Carroll County Fair.
Yeah, I think honestly they're going to be your next Madison County Super Tuesday type band. I really do. So
Cool. Good.
That's pretty cool.
they were new last year, kind of when we first had them, and now, like I said, they got a really good name all around. So yeah, that's the advanced ticket part of it. I think everything's kind of same as normal. We'll have the 50-50 again this year, of course. Still don't know who won the $4,600 one last year. They took it at random.
Never came forward?
They came forward to get it. Nobody knows who was the winner. We're going to do something different this year. We're going to get pictures of everybody this year so we know where it's going. But yeah, there'll be two of them. We'll be doing the drawing for the pallet of beer again. That went
Well,
pretty
I can tell you,
good.
if I win $4,600, I'm coming to get it. You can take my picture.
Oh, okay, good. And then you gotta buy a round of beers later then too.
Yep. I'll have to get home. I have a nephew getting married that night, so I kind of should get home for that. But
Well, you can buy them around then.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
It might help his wedding present if I win it.
Yep. So yeah, some of you will go home with 76 30 packs of beer, and we got our can koozie fun this year. That we're my sister could tell you, and that'll be said that day, but we're doing a thing for the local 4-H kids, Green County 4-H kids, putting more focus into the kids into the farming community. And we got this big plan set up with them, and they're going to be doing the colors. They're going to bring the flag out in the track and stuff. So we're going to kind of team up and, focus on the kids in the agricultural part of it.
Good.
Okay.
People buy a can koozie, that's where it's going to be going to. Nothing special this year. It's their leftover ones. There's some camouflage ones. There's whatever. People probably got 4 of them already, but they don't even need to take one. Throw a couple bucks in and whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
So how's the tire business going, Mark? Pretty busy?
Stupid. Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, it's every time you think it's going to kind of level off, it don't,
Right.
But anytime a new tire comes out, hey, there you go. So between the parks and the 20.8 Pro puller right now, there's literally 4 or 5 sets a week that got to get done. So
Yep.
good problem to have, but it gets a little overwhelming at times to do stuff like this, because that's, before you'd have a little time. There's just no time no more, and you have to make yourself do this now. I got to focus on the pull and put the business besides, but it's hard to do once in a while. This year we almost didn't have the bleachers on the infield side.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Well, we thought the bleacher guy had that, and he figured that, he was there last year, so we automatically be in, but I don't know how it works. So, and then we almost didn't have beer. The Lions Club forgot to call the city to get the permit.
Yeah.
They were a day late,
Been
and
there.
they don't like that down there. You have to be on time, so they almost got denied.
Oh,
Right.
man.
Yeah.
I think they didn't have much this year. They only had cheese curds last year.
What's that?
The Lions Club only had cheese curds last year. They gonna have mushrooms this year again, or what?
Yeah, well, I did not know anything about that, because that would have stressed me out too. But they got to have mushrooms. Their provider somehow forgot to order them.
Oh,
That's not that just can't happen down here.
oh
Nope.
no,
So-
highly dis-
I said, don't come back unless we have the mushrooms too.
That's right.
Gotta have. Mm-hmm. So,
Hey, Mark, are we going to have a sighting of the little green guy Deutz and where he makes his 63rd year of Fulton complete?
if we didn't get him on the track for his 64th, he might leave us on his own. So yes, he will be there. It should have been there a long time ago, earlier in the season. I won't get into all that, but let's just say it's been a slow process.
But
So it is going to be in
Deutz is
Monroe?
going to be there?
Huh?
The Deutz is going to be there?
It'll be there, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good.
So, yep, get him at 64th, and then hopefully everything will be ready for next year. He can just sit in the corner, and we don't have to work on it. So that's the plan. So if it drives itself on the trailer, it's going to be a good thing.
Yeah, good plan.
Yep.
Yeah. Wyatt Schulte says we are planning on coming this year. Unfortunately, with the breakage, will not be with the tractor. So the old pinion shaft exited the chat down in Sandwich over the weekend.
Okay,
Nope.
that'll happen.
Yeah, I
Have
was
you,
talking.
have you been getting any phone calls from other pullers that don't normally run the Badger State that are going to bless us with their presence this weekend, Mark?
Just one. That's actually something that I haven't done for 10 plus years. I haven't called one person. I feel like if they want to come on their own, I'm not begging any. Plus we got enough, right?
Right.
But yeah, a 4-1 downhill. Jacob Ole actually texted me, goes, "Hey, when is it? I want to come up." And he thought about it, but I haven't really heard from anybody else.
Yeah.
So
I know our pulling buddies from down in Missouri, they started shelling corn last week or Monday, I guess. So yeah. So
yep, I've heard a few of those down south, yeah, doing the same thing. So they might be too busy to come up anyway. So
Geez, we've got guys up here that their corn is too green to chop. We're looking, we're struggling. Well, nobody chops their good corn. Everybody's chopping their corn that's behind or poor.
mm-hmm.
So we're begging guys to go chop corn right now so we get done.
Yep. Have you heard any numbers for Viroqua as far as, I think last year's bunch of hot farms come down from Minnesota and 4 ones come up from Illinois. I mean, are they kind of thinking the same thing will happen?
I think so, because I think a lot of the guys like it because they can pull 2 nights in a row. They can pull in Viroqua with us on Friday night and come to Monroe on Saturday night. I think it helps. I
Right.
really do. I don't think it hurts, to get guys from far away.
Right.
Jeff Parr said it could be Bill Deluge could be coming down with Linehan's old tractor and running in Viroqua and coming down Monroe possibly. So
Okay.
I would imagine the Bouse must be coming on down, double dipping.
Never know where they end up coming. Yeah, you never know where they go.
Yeah.
Here's the pull they usually go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Where were they with us when they broke one of theirs pretty bad? Was it in Freeport or? God, they broke one of them, the rear end. It might have been, I don't remember. If I guessed, I'd be wrong. They broke the rear end in one of them with us one time this summer. Pretty bad.
They probably got it fixed pretty quick, though, knowing them.
Yep, I imagine so. Yeah, they're good guys. With a lot of fun.
Yeah. One thing I want to talk about Viroqua, I don't know, maybe I can text you something too, Greg, but I did tell Ben Han or whatever too, but at the driver's meeting in Viroqua, if you would just tell anybody like first, second class, and if they leave right away, I know there's a few people that are coming down. We will have, I'm sure we're going to have a semi there that's there early to start the line. Last year we were up to like 3 o'clock in the morning parking people, and I can't do that no more. Keep them tight like normal and pull up to the front of the semi even just like normal. But it is really important because last year I don't know if we had room for 2 or 3 more semis. We were full.
Got tight. Yep.
And then and we do get some pullers that give our pit crew or our parking crew some scuff every year. They got to realize it's the only way to get these in. That's why we do it like this. We're not trying to, we want everybody to enjoy themselves and not act like there's all these rules, but it's really important, the parking.
It is. We say the same thing for soccer. My pits are pretty small here too. But yeah, I tell people all the time, do not argue with the parking people. You have a problem, come tell me or one of the members.
Right.
Yeah.
This guy wants to park here and this guy wants to pull his truck in by it. No, we just can't do that. So
Right. We don't have enough room. Yep.
Right. So yeah, anybody leaving there, like I said, we'll be there for, a few of them will get the line started, but they just keep going right down the row and we just don't have to move anybody on Saturday morning.
Yep.
But I can kind of get with you before, Friday and, that's about the only thing that's really need to be set up there. So, if there are, the listeners too right now, I do want to get another thing. We'll say it there at the meeting on Saturday. Last year we had an overabundance of ATVs in between the 2 tracks. There's going to be no ATVs in there because there's people that couldn't see from the east side of the grandstands. So we're not going to tell the pullers not to stand there. They got to view their class somehow. It's hard down there. So, but just leave the ATVs on the infield side and then walk across if they would.
Yeah.
So
that's what we did for the fair, I think, didn't we? The guys all parked. If you got to tow them down in front of the grand, are you starting at same way the fair did?
No, we'll go the opposite way. We're doing an alternative thing from the fair. It really helps keep that track and that dip. By going different ways. So we'll go back to our way, pulling to the east.
Oh yeah. That way one pull hauls the dirt down to one end of the track, and then the next pull hauls the dirt back to the other end.
Yep.
Right. Even though we laser graded afterwards and stuff, it just somehow the 250-foot mark, the way we've run, it helps that not have. Last year it showed it didn't come like it has in the past.
Yeah, sure. Sure, I can see that.
So
Mark, at the Fall Nationals, have you guys ever considered doing trackside seating on the old track in front of the grandstand, or that's something that's never crossed your mind? Lawn chair seating and stuff.
We've actually I'm working on that. Nobody else on our team knows this, but I am going to work on something starting this year, even on the east side of the grandstands in that grass there, that we're going to eliminate a bleacher or 2 and maybe try to start that bring your own chairs stuff.
Yeah.
And even on the track down there, we can still fence something off. I know we got all our gold sponsors and stuff, but we could literally move stuff like that.
Right.
We're going to work on something like that down the road.
Yeah, because a lot of people just like sitting in their own lawn chair, and they just, they're comfortable that way. I kind of look at all the trackside seating that goes on at like Bowling Green, I mean, people are fine to sit right down on the track, they're good.
Yeah. Yep. I want to get something like that rolling. They tried it in the infield, inside in front of our infield bleachers here a couple years ago, and it didn't work out very good because nobody could walk. They were just piling them in there, and it's like, well, you got that type of organization. But
yeah, I just see that as one big spot that's underutilized at this point that has potential.
Right. If they can see over that wall and that would be the other thing. But
yeah.
We'll. That's a good idea. It sure is.
Yep.
We're getting close to time, but you have some major sponsors that help you out every year. You want to name off a few of them that really help you out, that come to the door all the time?
Go through our main ones. Yeah. I mean, we got 165 sponsors, and I just counted them up today. But are the big ones that make it go, just like, every other place. You need your big ones. And Washington Implement, our Case IH place in Monticello, they've been with us for 17 years. And that's, when you have a sponsor that sticks with you that long, it makes it so easy because you don't have to replace banners or signage. You just keep it the same because it costs money to do all that. The big radio in Monroe, the advertising on the radio is huge. Of course, you all know that too. We need it. The class sponsors, I'm not going to list the sponsors with the class, but Schultz Interstate Ag in Monroe, L&S Truck Service in Judah, Carousel Grain, the Bader family in Monroe, Pomps Tire, Badger State Ethanol in Monroe, AC McCartney in Durand, Precision Drive and Control in Monroe, Racker Family Sausage in Judah, Spike Oil in Broadhead, TLC Turner Lawn Care in Monticello, and Sugar River Power Center in New Glarus. And then our bands are, our track roller is Axel Speed, which is Don Wickstrom. He should have his tractor down there. And then our band sponsors are Stone Mill Construction out of Monroe and Greenwood State Bank. And those are the big dogs. And then you got Wisconsin Distributors and Jeff Cast as well. They play a big role in this.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
Great. Yeah. Heidi will have a book full for us, John, on that.
Yep.
And hey, Mark, have we got new Green County Fall National swag this year? Sweatshirts, t-shirts.
We got new swag. Yep, we got new swag. There's a blue one on there.
I seen that.
Oh my God! How much
I had
that
to buy
cost?
one.
They haven't got the bill yet.
Oh,
Well, Mike Kelly said he was going to cover the whole thing, but we'll have to discuss that later. So Greg might get off though. Can Frederick's down there? As long as he supplies some cold beverages to us, we'll be good.
Yep. Yeah. I'll have some along too. What?
It would be right if you didn't.
Right? Where am I going to be able to buy one of them?
Oh, so out the merchandise stand will be, of course, on the infield side, as always, right behind where you walk into the bleachers. And then the other one will be underneath the grandstand. If they're out of a size in one location, go to the other side too, because they're split up. There is going to be 2 racks this year. We're doing something different with the previous years. We got them medium or small, medium, large, all the way up. So there might be one from 2021, and somebody like, oh, I want that one instead. So there'll be an array of everything. So there's some new camo shirts this year, and my sister added a few other ones to test the waters and see what goes.
Okay.
So
so we know it's done.
Right?
She just
Heidi
posted
said
it. It's done. Yeah. Thank you, Heidi.
Yep.
Oh, and don't feel bad, Mark, because she'll be correcting us up in the announcer stand too. But I always try and make at least 2 mistakes, so then she feels good.
Oh, just 2?
Yeah, everything I say and everything I do.
Oh,
Right.
that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, don't make 3 mistakes, otherwise I ain't bringing the mushrooms.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, I'm sorry. I'll apologize.
As long as we
Keep
get
track
some
of your
homemade
mistakes.
chocolate chip cookies too,
There's always goodies flying up there, ain't there?
Oh, yeah, you scared the heck out of Sharon Brinkmeyer. She won't even bring us goodies no more now because she figured she could get kicked out. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's well, we have to pack our crow's nest stuff ahead of time. So my sister's already got that already done with Mrs. Adrian and everybody up there because they stopped her last year. They're doing their job at least, but we have the rules down there, you know, no alcohol, they're running around, and most pullers do a really good job, but not doing it. And half the time, I think it trickles down to the husbands go to the drivers' meeting and don't go back and tell their wives and their crew. Because it's not the pullers that do it; it's the other people that are walking back and forth. The tricks, like you can't do that. So, but the security's actually, I mean, they're not there to kick anybody out, but they're definitely going to be there to remind you. A tractor pull without cold beer is not even worth having.
Yeah, but
Right.
Sharon brought us baked goods. That's what the killer was. I mean, her homemade cookies and homemade. Oh man, unbelievable! I can't even.
Yeah, well,
talk.
that should be allowed to go anywhere. So if they get in trouble for that, you come find me. Then we'll take care of that. So
And you'll take two.
yeah, right. Yep, correct. Yep. No, that hell grill. Do whatever you want. We don't care what you do with the trailers. You have a cook a fork if you want to. I don't care.
Yeah, I just can't wait to have one of them Rocco family sausage full pull brats.
Actually, there's going to be a different change this year because the Kiwanis and the Lions are selling them now. So now it's from two other places in the local area too.
Oh,
So,
good.
yeah, but you can still support Rocco's and go there and buy some of them. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yep.
But
Oh yeah.
Well, I think it's time to wrap it up, right, John?
Yep. We're in overtime right now, but
Oh,
everybody
it's a floating finish.
Holy Chris,
Yep.
there in Monroe, and to you and your crew, unbelievable job you guys do organizing that. And it's good to see all the pullers. It's bittersweet always coming to Monroe. You know, it's the last pull of the year, but also you're going to see a really good show. You get your dollars worth there when people come. But man, it's a long time till summer comes again. So,
Well, everybody's goal is to get to the banquet, then get their crops in and get to the banquet. You change your goals.
yeah.
Yep.
So thanks, Mark, for coming on, and glad to have you on, and glad to help promote that poll. And it's going to be fun. So everybody, come on down to Monroe. Starts at noon sharp, and a lot of good pulling. We'll have a full day of fun. And we'd like to thank our sponsors here with Down and Dirty, with Front Street Toys, Casper Egg, and Slama Enterprises for helping us out, and all you fans that watch every week. So once the pulling's over here, we're going to start doing some shop tours and having some fun with that too. So
We'll be talking to some points champions after this weekend too.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
I'm sure there's a few that are on the line as we speak. Super Farm's tight. I think Hot Farm's tight. It's going to be fun.
Yep.
Yep.
It will be. Yep.
Well, thanks for having us and promoting us, and we'll look forward to seeing you all on Saturday.
Yep. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for coming on.
You bet. Take care, guys.
See you Saturday.
See you
Yep.
Saturday
Thanks,
morning.
guys. Goodbye, everybody.
Have a good night.